All right. Hi, welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new here, I am Meet and I'm teaming up with my brother Monis to teach finance lessons that actually make sense. No like boring textbooks or like confusing language or anything. Just simple, beginner-friendly breakdowns of real money concepts that you guys can actually use. Today we're kicking things off with rate of return, which is a pretty big concept in the finance world. It sounds complicated, but it actually is super simple. And by the end of this video, you should be able to calculate it yourself. Let's get into it. All right, first, let's start with a question. Say you run a lemonade stand this summer. You spent $20 on cups, lemons, and sugar. By the end of the summer, you count up your cash box and you've got $26. Did your lemonade stand do well? I mean, yeah, obviously you made money, but how well did it do? What was it like a great result? Was it an okay one? To answer that, we look at the rate of return. All right, now we go on the definition. Rate of return measures how much your money grew or shrank compared to what you actually started off with. And it shows as a percentage normally, not like a dollar amount. That's the key part. It's always a percentage. Why does it matter? Because a percentage lets you compare things fairly, even if the amounts of money are totally different. It works whether we're talking about a lemonade stand, a savings account, a stock, or even reselling a video game skin. Next, we have the formula. All right, so here's the formula, and I promise it's simpler than it looks. Ending value minus beginning value divided by the beginning value times 100. That's what turns, like the times 100 is what turns it into a percent. So beginning value is what you started with. Ending value is what you ended up with. Subtract them to see how much things changed. Then divide it with what you started with. And then you multiply it by 100 to turn it into a nice and clean percentage. Next, we have an example. Let's plug in our lemonade stand numbers. Beginning value $20, ending value $26. All right. So step one, find the difference. 26 minus 20 is $6. Step two, divide that by what you started with, which is 6 divided by 20, which is 0.3. Then you multiply that by 100. As a result, you get 30%. So your lemonade stand has a rate of 30% rate of return. In plain English, for every $1 you put in, you get that dollar back plus 30 more cents. Not bad for a summer of squeezing lemons. All right, now we have why it matters, and we're looking at comparing options. Here's why rate of return is such a powerful tool. Let's say you have two investment options. Option A, you put in $100 and it grows to $108. That's an $8 profit. Option B, you put in $500 and it grows up to $540. That's $40 profit. Option B made way more actual dollars, $40 versus $8. But if you calculate the rate of return for both, they're both exactly 8%. Same performance, just different amounts of money. Rate of return lets you see actual growth without comparing real numbers. We're looking at percent in this scenario. Next, we have positive and negative returns. One more important thing is that rate of return can be positive or negative. If your money grows like $50 turning to $55, that's a positive 10% return. But if your money shrinks, like dropping $50 to 45, that's a negative 10% return. A negative rate of return just means you ended up with less than what you started with. It happens sometimes, especially with investments like stocks, and that's exactly why understanding rate of return actually helps you see clearly what happened to your money. Next, we finally have the recap and quiz. All right, so let's recap what we covered. Rate of return shows how much money grew or shrank as a percentage. Next, the formula is ending minus beginning divided by beginning times 100 to get that clean percentage. Third, it lets you compare totally different amounts of money fairly, which is where you can compare how much percent you gained rather than comparing numbers because it could look different for everyone. It can be positive, meaning you gained, or Negative meaning you lost. Now it's your turn. Here's a quick quiz question. You invest $40 and it grows to $50. What's the rate of return? Pause the video right now, work it out using the formula, and drop your answer in the comments. I'll pin the correct answer choice or answer once a few of you have guessed. All right. Finally, the outro. Uh, that's rate of return in the simplest form. A simple percentage that tells you exactly how well your money is doing. If this helped you, smash the like button, subscribe for more beginner-friendly lessons, and let me know in the comments if you got the quiz right. Next time, we're going to build on to this topic and look at more topics related to rate of return or anything in the finance industry and teach in the most simplest forms. Um, See you next time. Thank you.